All right, Sean Howard here again for this week's Canvas Lesson Tech Helps. I'm going to focus on one of the main guidelines for successful online teaching. We're going to focus on access the course. And it says the guideline, the online teachers should log into the Canvas course each day that their learners do. The average number is 4 days a week if you're doing a regular online class. Being present in the online course establishes teacher presence, which encourages learners' participation and increases learner satisfaction. Seeing a teacher in the online course also motivates learners to take responsibility for their own learning. So just a reminder today, the expectation is you should be in the course each day that your students are doing online learning, actively involved in that course. We expect our students to create a schedule. It's good for us too as teachers to create a schedule and block out time we know each day that we're going to be able to dedicate to doing our online classes. Now, I want to share one last thing with you today that might be helpful as you go through the future and prepare your lessons. One thing that I like to do is always look at course overview and see, okay, what do I want to teach that week? Which Canvas lessons do I want to hone in on and focus and be of more influence in that lesson? And what lesson do I want to teach over Zoom that week if I'm going to move things around? And so this week, this is what my suggestion would be. If you're trying to decide what lesson am I going to teach as a class over Zoom or in person, I would suggest this. Going down to the very end and doing out of the 5 lessons, assess your learning 11, because this lesson is intended to help your students evaluate the goals they have set and the personal growth they have experienced during the study of the New Testament. That would be a sweet experience as a class towards the end of the semester to have that experience together. There's just one idea. As I look at these other lessons, there's a few that I'm like, if I really wanted to focus on having teacher presence, if I don't have time to do it every lesson this week, I would definitely choose a few. 1 John 1 through 5, look at the lesson purpose. This lesson is intended to help students feel God's love for them. I think they could have a good experience this week on their own on that. So if I go to the next one, 1 John 2 through 4, 2 John, the lesson purpose is to intend to help students understand how they can show love for Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ by keeping the commandments. That might be one that I want to insert myself and really encourage my students to have a revelatory experience of how they can show more love or recognize the love they are showing to Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ in their lives. Another one that I want to have an influence on is 1 John 2 through 4, lesson purpose. This lesson can help students understand and apply the commandment to love others as they love God. That's one, when I see that the purpose of the lesson is to actually understand and apply something, that's a great time for me as a teacher to get in there and to make sure that I'm helping them have a good experience and guiding their experience so that they will get to that application and share some of that application in a meaningful way in that class. So again, this might be one that I might insert myself in teacher presence this week. And then the Doctrine of Mastery review, just a great review of the 13 Doctrine of Mastery passages from the second half of the New Testament now that we're getting close to the end of the semester. So that's a quick review and a quick reminder of being consistent and keeping pace with our wonderful students in our Canvas courses this next week. Have a great week.